What's happening, world? So hey, this is a conversation that actually just seeing Ben Brewster's tweet. Who, if you don't know who he is, check him out, man. He's got building a 95 mile an hour body, which really dives into the metrics and science behind the engines of the best athletes on the planet in the baseball medium, and then how you can put some steps and parameters in place to assess where you are today in terms of your body and your engine versus where you need to be for the type of power output that's required for the highest level. So, anyways, moving into this, I think this is a fascinating conversation. So, the idea of like, hey, do I get nervous before performance? And I want to go a little bit deeper on my own experience with this and how I've seen it play out in my own career and then also in a lot of guys that I've worked with and trained with, played with, etc. So, I think one of the things that's key is when I was 13, my dad, I told him on the way to a game, I was nervous, and I told him, hey, like, I'm nervous. And he's like, well, fuck that. Why are you nervous? Like, that's not right. You nervous? And it was like, oh shit. Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to be nervous. Like, so then guess what? I never admitted again to being nervous. So I didn't really show up for very long. I mean, it didn't have a negative impact that was tangible or visible for me until I then got into later in my high school seasons, really specifically on my senior year. So that was the first time I had started intervening on mechanics. I was doing Dick Mills, Pitching Rebel, really working a lot with video camera and becoming conscious and spending a lot more time in my training brain than I had in my previous 17 years of playing baseball. So now all of a sudden I'm afraid to admit that I'm nervous, so I'm suppressing this feeling that I have. I don't really know what to do with it, and all my reps during the week are focused on mechanics. So then I get into the game, and no wonder I shit the bed and can't throw a strike because all I've fucking thought about is mechanics. I haven't checked into what I love from Andy McKay, which is what are your three things you think about in the game? Three questions to ask yourself. What am I looking at, right? How athletic am I scale of 1 to 10? How aggressive am I scale of 1 to 10? Repeat. That's it. Okay? The best guys in the world have a process for what to do with the 15 to 20 seconds in between each pitch, and they execute it every single time. Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, out by out, game by game, season by season. That's how they're able to deal with this macro level season. They break it down into these little micro 15-second, 20-second moments. So now, where I see guys go wrong is they don't want to admit that they're nervous or that they have anxiety or that they have fear. And I love the reframing concept by Ben, but I'm going to even take that a step further and challenge and say that, hey, there is no fucking difference between nervous and anxious. Like, or nervous, anxious, excited. So I think one of the things that for a guy that's really self-aware, I think we could do a service to people. Like, I struggled with the yips bad. So I've been at the very, very bottom of the game where I couldn't even fucking throw a ball and play catch. Like, I've been there. I tell people like I'm a yipper in recovery. And I denied for so long that it was a mental component. And so I kept going to the physical mechanics. Finally, after 2 years of struggling with that, I'm like, dude, figure it out. Like, I got it, and I knew it was mental. So what I would tell you is call it what you want to call it, but I almost think it's more advantageous in a way to call it what it is. It is nervousness. It is anxiety. Like, it's at a foundational level, the way that your brain is wired is to ask the question, am I safe? And the reason why is because as we evolved, we were trying to run away from shit that was trying to kill us. So if the question, am I safe, is not answered with yes, you can call it what you want to call it, but you're going to have an elevated level of anxiety, fear, nervousness. And then your brain is calculated for, hey, last time I went out and did this go well or not? So if you're a guy that's really struggled with performance, like trying to just say, oh, I'm excited now isn't going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Maybe it will be. For me, it wasn't. And for the guys that I've helped that have really struggled with this, it hasn't been. So then how do you back into a really quality mindset, and how do you learn how to address and channel that anxiousness, that nervous energy into something effective? And to me, it's about how do you execute on your practice during the week. So I have to be very mindful of it because mechanics are important, but if you had to say, hey, give me a guy that's either got great mechanics but no trust in himself, or you give me a guy that's got awful mechanics but full trust in himself, give me the guy that's got awful mechanics and full trust in himself all day long. Okay? There's other ways you can work on your mechanics so that your analytical brain gets fed so that you stay further away from that moment where you've got a baseball in your hand on a mound in a game and you're stuck on your mechanical thoughts. Those internal thoughts, that trust or that training mindset, whatever you want to call it. There's too much activity in your brain. Elite performance, for the most part, is going to come from what? A place of just raw, primal fucking instinct. Like, let it fly, attack, gladiator style. So the problem with getting calm is, like, calm can be fine. It can get you a reset, but you've got to know what type of mindset gives me my best result for an athletic aggressive throw. So a hard strike. And the only way you're going to know that is by paying attention to your thoughts in your training. What are you thinking about in your training? I ask my guys the questions all the time. Hey, you just went plus 3 miles an hour on that throw. What were you thinking about? Don't tell me, just internalize it. Know what you're thinking about when shit's going good. Know what you're thinking about when shit's going bad. And most guys do not operate well in a passive, calm, relaxed state. If you're saying fight or flight, that would be more of the flight state. They're just out there letting things happen to them. Okay? And I find this generation of 17 to 25, 28-year-olds have been told that being aggressive in terms of their personality and all these different places in life is not okay. And that has contributed to people that don't know how to compete and just go, and let it fly. You got to find that person in you. And the only way that you're going to do it is by practicing it. So rather than going out and practicing on your fucking mechanics all the time, like, mechanics are a component of this, no doubt. Much smaller component than the mindset that's required to produce the result. Meaning, if you're in here thinking about your mechanics, but you don't already have a dominant mentality, and you don't know how to go into a game and dominate that each 15-second window in between pitches, you have no business worrying about mechanics with a ball in your hand. Spend your time thinking about mechanics in your warm-up, your body warm-up. Move well. When you're lifting, lift with quality technique. When you're doing rotational work with medicine balls, think about your mechanics if you want to, okay? But when you pick up a ball, if you're a guy that's analytical, external, external, external. Focal point, how athletic, how aggressive. Repeat. And then take notes. Put it in your phone. Hey, today, my best throws, I was thinking this. Okay, hey, this is 92.5. This is my record. I was thinking this. This is the music I was listening to prior to this. This is what I ate today. I came in and I was pissed off. Like, document your own success. Create your own blueprint for success. That way you can go into the game and your whole day can be structured around trying to replicate your best performance one throw at a time.